Now we're going to talk about creating our own website using free resources. One of the free resources we're going to use is called My Free Website Builder. This is an excellent, powerful website builder, and best of all, it's completely free. On top of this, we are going to use some free templates that you can download and load into My Free Website Builder and modify them in there. So the first thing we're going to do is download My Free Website Builder. So just go to the site, myfreewebsitebuilder.com, and then click the download button. Now while you're here, have a look at what's available on this page. You've got lots of graphics that you can get here for a very reasonable price. And if it's in your budget, I highly suggest that you take advantage of it. But of course, it is not mandatory that you do so. You can just download it if you're not interested in the graphics. But it is a huge package, including payment buttons, just lots of stuff here. Headers. Okay, so read through the whole thing, make your decision, and then you can download the software and your graphics. And once you've downloaded the software, just click on the file and it'll come up with a setup wizard like you see in front of you here. So click on the next button, agree to the terms, and then it'll automatically install it in a certain directory on your computer. You can just leave that alone unless you want it somewhere specifically. If you do, then you can change that here. Click next. Tells you where it's going to install it. Install. And as simple as that, it will be installed on your computer. Click finish and you're all installed. Now we can open it up just by clicking on the icon it put on our desktop. And here it is here. You can create a new empty web page, or you can load an existing website template. Now, My Free Website Builder comes with several built-in templates that you can load in and use if you want to do that. But what we're going to do is we're going to use some fancier templates that you can get at a site for free. And the site is called oswd.org. So let's go there now. Here is what you will see when you go to oswd.org. It stands for Open Source Web Design. So there are several things you can do here to search. We have our favorite designs, and you'll see some of the most popular ones here that you can browse through. You can also search through designs, and then you can tell it what you want to search on here. You have several different types of searches you can apply, and you can use several different parameters here. Now my suggestion to you when you first start out is to try and find a fairly simple design, because if you get a pretty busy design going on, there's a lot more to maintain as far as images and links are concerned. So if we can find something that's fairly simple, usually a 2-column would be a good thing to start with. And then if you have any preferences in colors and contrasts and images and CSS, this is where you can narrow it down. But let's just start with 2 columns. Okay, and as you see, there's 101 pages here. So that's a lot to look through. But you can narrow your search down as you see fit here. So go ahead and look through them. When you find one you like, you can click on the View button, and it actually brings it up in your browser. Okay, so here's one. And then you can download it just by clicking on the download link up here on the left. You just hit the back button on your browser to go back and continue your search. So just go ahead and find one that you like that isn't too complex, and then download it to your computer, and then we'll start modifying it using my free website builder. Okay, so I found one I'm going to use. I'm going to use this simple design here. And then all we have to do is download it. Just click download it and download it to your computer somewhere onto your desktop or into a folder where you keep your website templates. So I'm going to download mine to a directory called Web Templates. Download it. And we'll open that directory. And in here is a zip file with our web template in there. Now if you have a copy of Windows Vista or Windows XP, usually you can just click on that and the built-in function will open it for you, and then you can hit extract. Otherwise you can download something called WinZip, and you can use WinZip to unzip it. So I'm just going to click on this and unzip it. Now I have an evaluation copy of WinRAR here. It also opens zip files. It also opens an archive type called a rar.rar. So if you ever run across them, you can download WinRAR. Okay, so we'll just do an extract to. Click OK, and it'll extract it into the same directory that the zip file's in. Okay, so here's our simple design. Okay, and inside here you'll see an index file and a CSS file. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet, and it tells the website how it is laid out. Alright, so now that we have that, let's go back to my free website builder. And create a new empty web page. Now we'll click on Open, and we'll open the file that we just downloaded. Okay, so just go down to index.html, open it up, and it is now inside of our website builder and all ready for us to start modifying. Now we'll just have a quick little tutorial on how you can use the functions of my free website builder. Now most of the functions that you're going to need to use are already sitting up here in the three toolbars you see right here. Now we're not going to do a really comprehensive tutorial on how to use my free website builder because there's already tutorials available for that. But what we're going to do is show you how to use it in a practical application. Now with our website here, what we're going to do is we're going to create what's called a squeeze page. A squeeze page is when you create a page that the main idea is to collect an email address to build your opt-in list. So we're going to use this particular template to build our site. Now let's talk about the essentials of a good squeeze page. First, you're going to need a header image or a headline. Doesn't matter which you use, you're going to need one of those two. I've found that actually a headline converts better than a header image in many cases, but you can do this experimentation on your own. And of course you can have an optional subheader here, which is just some text that supports what the header says. Next, you should have a product image. A product image gives perceived value to the product that you're going to give away on your squeeze page. And you should be giving away a product or some item on your squeeze page to encourage people to opt in. Next, you should give some product description. This will, of course, describe what the product is that you're giving away. Do a good job of describing what it is and give some sort of value to the product through your description. Of course, you need an opt-in form. This collects the email addresses and names optionally of people that you're trying to get to subscribe. We're going to go over this in more detail in another video as to how to set up your autoresponder and get your form code. And the last thing you're going to need is a bulleted list. This should be a list of features that describes your product. Give some good features of the product to make it look like it's something they definitely want. That way you're more likely to get the opt-in. Okay, now let's return to my free website builder and get on with building our site. Now, the first thing I would do would be to change the title up here. Okay, so you'll see here when we highlight that string of text there. It has the color here, and it's bold, and then we can make it bigger by clicking on this one, smaller by clicking on this one. We can change the color by clicking here, picking it out of the table, or picking it out of the color area here, or even putting in the codes into here, however you want to do it. You can also use these codes over here. These are called RGB codes over here, or red, green, blue, and these are your hex color codes over here. So either way, if you know what they are, you can key them in down here. Okay, so let's make ours into black. Okay, so now we've changed that. Now we can also change the font. Okay, now let's just go to regular fonts. If we go to Format up here, and we go to Font, it brings up a huge list of fonts over here. In fact, it goes right off the page. You can choose a different font if you want here. Let's find Arial. Okay. Now, obviously we're not going to call this Simple Design Ink. So we would want to change that. Put something else there. Now before I change this text, what I would want to do is decide what product I'm going to be giving away to build my list, and then I would change the title here and my text. I would add my opt-in box, put in a product image, and then we're all set to go. So I'm going to go find a product that I'm going to give away. Okay, so I have a product called Squidoo Basics that I'm going to give away on my site. So unzip that, extract to, click OK, and it'll extract it right to the same area. Okay, so we have Squidoo Basics. Now make sure that in the rights you have the right to give something away before you go giving something away that you're not supposed to. And usually there is some sort of a rights document within any product that you buy. Now what we're interested in right now is the website, because in the website there are images. And you can have a look here and see what we want to use. Okay, so we have all these ebook images, so we're definitely going to want to use one of those when we get to that point. But for now, we know that we're going to give away Squidoo Basics. So now we can start changing up our site. Okay, then think up some headline. This is not the best headline in the world, but think of something that will get people's attention and has to do with the product you're giving away. And now let's center this. There we go. Okay, so free ebook, Learn Squidoo Today. And we can get rid of that text there. Okay, now down here is where we would start making our site changes. Now this would be a good place to put our opt-in form, so let's kill all this text in here. So just highlight it, hit the delete key, and away she goes. Now where it says news here, this is where we could put the text above our opt-in form to entice the people to enter their name and email address. Okay, so free offer, fill out the form below to get your free copy of Squidoo Basics. Okay, and then we really need this one here, so we can delete all that out of there. Now, if we put our cursor inside this box, you'll see down here we have a tab called Source. When we click on that, it's going to go to the source right where this box is. So let's click on Source. You'll see here that, see the little cursor flash in there? Okay. Here is this class equals scroll2. So we can just get rid of that. Back to normal. And that scroll box is gone. Probably not going to run into that too much, but that's how we got rid of it, just by going into the source. So here's where our opt-in box goes. We have our title up here. Now all we need to do is put some copy in here, add our image, and we're ready to go. So let's highlight this text in the middle here because we're not going to need that. Just click on the shapes, get rid of those.